Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today, we are heading to the coast of Pakistan to explore its incredible blue frontier. Now, this isn't just some random stretch of water. Oh no, it is a dynamic, powerful region that is absolutely brimming with economic opportunity, critical ecosystems, and so many human stories. So come on, let's dive in and see what this blue frontier is all about. First off, let's just try to get our heads around the sheer scale of this. We are talking about a 990-kilometer-long coastline. I mean, that is huge. This massive maritime border is shared between two provinces. You've got Sindh in the east, and then the much, much longer Makran coast of Balochistan out west. This isn't just a line on a map. It's a massive national asset. And this asset, well, it's a lifeline in so many different ways. It's like a superhighway for global trade, it's a sanctuary for some incredible biodiversity, and crucially, it's the main source of income for millions of people. It's really this amazing place where the economy, nature, and the local community all come together. So here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with Pakistan's role as this huge maritime gateway. Then, we're going to explore its living coastline and the ocean of livelihoods that it supports. After that, we'll have to look at the tough stuff, the resources that are under pressure, and finally, we'll see what's being done to protect this blue future.
Okay, so first stop, the economic powerhouse. Pakistan's coast is, without a doubt, the country's main link to the global economy. And its ports, well, they're the pistons that keep that whole engine running.
To really grasp the opportunity here, we've got to talk about something called the Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ. Basically, this is a massive chunk of the sea where Pakistan has special rights to, well, everything, all the marine resources. And it just got even bigger, expanding to a colossal 290,000 square kilometers. That is a territory larger than a lot of countries, just filled with potential.
The gateways to this massive zone are the country's three big deep-water ports. You've got Karachi, Port Qasim, and the very strategically located Gwadar. And you should think of these not just as places where ships dock, but as the country's main economic arteries, pumping goods and money in and out of the nation. Now, check this out. This is what really shows you the sheer dependency on these sea routes. More than 90%. Let that sink in. Over 90% of all of Pakistan's external trade flows through just two of those ports, Karachi and Port Qasim. It just shows how absolutely fundamental this maritime trade is to the country's economic health. But hey, there's so much more to this coastline than just concrete and steel. Let's move away from the busy ports for a minute and explore the incredible living ecosystems that are thriving here. So once you get past all the hustle and bustle of the ports, what kind of natural treasures does this coastline really have? Well, it's a world of vibrant, complex ecosystems that are doing so much more for us than we can even see on the surface. A perfect example of this? Mangrove forests. Mangroves are these amazing, super tough, salt-tolerant trees that just thrive in that tricky zone between the land and the sea. And get this, Pakistan's Indus Delta is home to one of the largest arid climate mangrove forests in the entire world. Pretty incredible. And they're basically nature's shield. I mean, they protect the coast from storms, they act as these critical nursery grounds for fish and shrimp, they even pull carbon out of the air and purify the water. They are an absolute cornerstone of the coast's resilience. And all of this brings us directly to the human connection, right? Because the health of these marine ecosystems is directly, and I mean directly, tied to the well-being of the people living on the coast. Just take a look at this number. If you don't count the massive city of Karachi, a staggering 80% of the coastal population is involved in fisheries. For these communities, the sea isn't just a part of the economy. It is the economy. It is their entire way of life. And here's just a little glimpse of what that livelihood is built on. I mean, from sardines and tuna to super valuable shrimp, these waters are just rich with commercially important species. The sheer volume here, we're talking tens of thousands of metric tons harvested every year, is what sustains this entire coastal society. But, and this is a big but, this incredible natural bounty is not limitless. So we've seen all the assets, we've seen the opportunities, but now we have to face the serious pressures that are putting this whole blue future at risk. This slide here lays out the cause and effect with some pretty stark clarity. You can see how these threats are all connected and they create this cascade of negative impacts. Overfishing, that leads directly to crashing fish stocks. Harmful gear, it just destroys the habitats. And coastal pollution, it's literally choking the life out of these waters, leading to a massive loss of biodiversity. And to put that pollution problem into perspective, just listen to this. 430 million gallons of untreated sewage every single day from just the city of Karachi. I mean, can you even imagine? This flood of waste just completely overwhelms the coastal ecosystems, creating these dead zones where nothing can live. So the bottom line is that the fisheries sector is facing a perfect storm of challenges. You've got overharvesting, the use of these incredibly destructive nets, the degradation of the very mangrove nurseries that the fish need to survive, and on top of all that, the tragic bycatch of protected species like dolphins and sea turtles.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. There is a growing realization of what's at stake here, and there are some really significant efforts underway to chart a new, more sustainable course for the future.
And these aren't just ideas, these are concrete steps being taken right now. Legislation is being enforced to ban the most harmful fishing gear. There's a massive mangrove rehabilitation program. It was so successful it actually set a Guinness World Record for planting. Key biodiversity hotspots are being turned into protected areas, and there's a real push for international sustainability certifications. Now, this strategy of creating marine protected areas, or MPAs, is super important. They act as a refugia, basically a safe haven where fish can breed and their populations can recover. These protected zones then help restock the surrounding fishing grounds, which is a win-win for both the ecosystem and the fishing communities. Which, of course, brings us to the ultimate question. And this isn't just a challenge for Pakistan, it's for coastal nations everywhere. How do you actually balance economic growth with preserving the very natural treasures that create that opportunity in the first place? At the end of the day, the health of Pakistan's blue frontier is completely tied to its national prosperity. Making sure its oceans have a sustainable future isn't just some environmental issue, it's a fundamental economic and social necessity. The story of Pakistan's future, it seems, may very well be written in the waves of the Arabian Sea.